Welcome back to the Philosophy for Philistines channel. It is October the 27th, and I want to remind my listeners that I attempt to the best of my ability to share factual evidence, to share proof of my assertions. When I am stating my own opinion, then I will state that it is an opinion. One of the things that I want to discuss today is the nature of foolishness. This is a bigger problem than people assume that it is, and we're going to get into that. But we're going to begin with the first premise so that we can all understand what's going on today and why we're facing our current social issues. The sole function of government is to protect the citizen's freedom by defending that citizen from enemies, both foreign and domestic, who threaten freedom. Today, our government openly cooperates with our enemies globally, thereby nullifying the sole function of responsible government. This defines, in the simplest terms, the social contract that exists between the state and its citizens. I made this observation today and posted on a purported conservative website or conservative group on Facebook, and it was met with absolute rage. I certainly do not deny the existence of COVID-19, otherwise known as the CCP virus. I am of the opinion, now here I'm stating an opinion, that it is manufactured. But this is what sparked rage on this conservative page. I wrote the following this morning and shared it with a video that I had created the other week, which demonstrates provable links between Pfizer and the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which of course is ultimately answerable to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. If you were injured or became sufficiently ill to require hospitalizing, would you prefer to have a nurse who had refused the mRNA injection to attend to you, or have no nurse at all? This is the choice the idiots in charge are giving us. And yes, I refuse to call an experimental gene therapy a vaccine. Vaccines are created using a weakened version of a pathogen, while the mRNA protocol was cooked up in a level 4 bio-pathogen laboratory while doing gain-of-function experiments. Pfizer is the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, which is deep in bed with the CCP and the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Pfizer has paid millions of dollars in penalties for bribing doctors. It is time to understand what the genie behind the curtain is actually up to. So that's what sparked the rage. Notice I do not deny the existence of the virus. Neither am I telling people not to receive the artificial gene therapy. I'm only stating that it is artificial gene therapy, which it is. This following article was published in the UK Daily Mail. Sweden extends pause of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine in young people under 30 due to concerns the shot causes rare heart inflammation. This has been a constant theme. But apparently it's a bigger problem with Moderna than it is with Pfizer. Why, I don't know. I am not a virologist. Sweden has extended a pause of COVID-19 in people under age of 30 until the original December the 1st date to an unknown date. No one born after 1990 can receive the Moderna shot in Sweden and will instead be offered the Pfizer vaccine. Other countries have also restricted the use of the shot in young people, including Denmark, Iceland, and Finland. Nordic nations cite unpublished data showing the Moderna shot causes rare cases of heart inflammation in young people as the reason for their decision. The CDC has warned that heart inflammation is a potential side effect of the vaccine when used in young males. And here they use the term vaccine, which I refuse to do. Again, the link to this article posted below. All the links to anything we're going to discuss today are posted below. I invite you, I encourage you, do not believe what I am saying. Go to the links, open them up, read the articles for yourself, come to your own conclusions. In a recently published article in the National Post, the Canadian military intelligence has admitted downplaying the risk of COVID-19. It's just been reported. Now, I am of the opinion, and here I'm stating an opinion, that the reason they downplayed the risk is because our government openly sympathizes with the CCP tyrannizing China and its basic dictatorship, as Trudeau himself called it, that he admires their basic dictatorship. So, to get on to my point, there's this fascinating article written several years ago, and again, it'll be posted below. Open it up for yourself. It's called The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity, and it's written by Carlo M. Coppola. And the laws state some fascinating things about human nature. Now, I would exchange stupid, the term stupid that Carlo uses, for foolish, because foolish has a very specific meaning. Stupid implies a lack of intelligence, but this has to do more with behavior that is emotionally unintelligent. So he poses 5 basic laws and puts humanity into 4 categories. The first law: always and inevitably, everyone underestimates the number of stupid individuals in circulation. People whom one had once judged rational and intelligent turn out to be unashamedly stupid. Day after day, with unceasing monotony, one is harassed in one's activities by stupid individuals who appear suddenly and unexpectedly in the most inconvenient places and at the most inappropriate moments. The first basic law prevents, Carlo is speaking here, from attributing a numerical value. So on to the second basic law. The second basic law states culture trends now fashionable in the West favor an egalitarian approach to life. Certainly they did in Scandinavia, but increasingly so in Canada and North America at large, as we see things like critical race theory being propagated in both businesses and our schools, and government, of course. People like to think of human beings as the output of a perfectly engineered mass production machine. Geneticists and sociologists especially go to their way to prove, with an impressive apparatus of scientific data and formulations, that all men are naturally equal. And if some are more equal than others, then it is attributable to nurture and not nature. So here Carlo takes an exception to that general view and postulates that the probability of a certain person will be stupid is independent of any other characteristics of that person. This sort of coincides with the biblical adage that people will be ever learning but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. This is a great metaphorical statement, and it defines what it is to be foolish. The third and golden basic law. The third basic law assumes, although it does not state it explicitly, that human beings fall into four basic categories: the helpless, the intelligent, the bandit, and the stupid. It will be easily recognized by the perspicacious reader that these four categories correspond to the four letters on the basic graph below, which I will use as the screenshot for the video. So here are the categories. An intelligent person, according to Carlo, and I would say that this intelligent should be replaced with wise. And an intelligent person does things that are both good for themselves and good for others. That's in the upper right quadrant. In the lower right quadrant is a bandit, according to Carlo. This is a person who does things that are good for themselves but rips others off. In the upper left quadrant are the hapless people. Those that do good things for others but don't do anything good for themselves. This could possibly be psychologically defined as codependent. But the interesting category is the category he assigns as stupid, which I would assign as foolish. This is the person that'll bite his own nose to spite his face. This is the person who would do himself great harm just to get at you. So they constantly engage in activities that benefit neither themselves or others. He gets into frequency of distribution and then goes on to warn, and I invite you to read the article for yourself. I won't go into everything. Warn that the power of stupidity is always underestimated. The power of foolish, immoral people in our society is constantly being underestimated. I did a vlog the other week on why it is a mistake to label foolish, harmful, wicked behavior as pathological. Bad behavior isn't a sickness. It's bad behavior. It is the result, rather, of immoral conduct. It's the result of people not assuming responsibility for themselves. The fourth basic law, that helpless people, namely those who are in our accounting system, fall into the H area, this is the upper left quadrant, do not normally recognize how dangerous stupid people are, which isn't at all surprising. It's the hapless people that are most often underestimating how dangerous foolish people are to themselves and to others, to society at large. Non-stupid people always underestimate the damaging power of stupid individuals. In particular, non-stupid people constantly forget that at all times and places and under any circumstance, to deal and or associate with stupid people will always turn out to be a costly mistake. There is only one thing you can do with them. That is get away from them. Which is a great problem given the fact that we have handed our government over to about the most foolish group of individuals that one could possibly assume. Admittedly, some are bandits, but this is the fifth basic law. The bandit at least is predictable because you know that person is going to try to rip you off, and therefore you can predict what they're going to do. But the stupid person, the foolish person, because they will harm themselves as well as harming others, they're completely unpredictable and will wreak untold havoc on society. The only antidote to this premise is that we practice morality, that we develop integrity in our young people, that we be people who do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So there's today's thoughts, folks. You tell me what you think about them. I found Coppola's article fascinating, and I find the reaction that I'm getting from people who are supposedly conservative reacting so violently against what I stated when I included all the links that have proven that everything I stated was in fact true. Pfizer has paid millions of dollars in damages for bribing doctors. Isn't it amazing that they're the ones that have the antidote so quickly developed for this horrendous pathogen? Now I will state my opinion. It would appear to me that since we have now become aware that it is likely the US and certainly Canada and the UK were funding gain-of-function experiments, that it is entirely possible, my opinion, entirely possible that the pathogen emerged while its cure was being developed. There's something to think about. Have a great day. God bless you all.